Okay, so good evening everyone, and welcome to this evening's Intro to Essential Oils class. My name is Peter and I'm going to be your host this evening. The class will last approximately 1 hour. It's not an interactive class, so please, any questions that you may have, hold them and then discuss them with the person who has invited you onto this class this evening. They'll be more than happy to answer anything for you. So we've got a fantastic action-packed evening lined up. So I'm going to give you a little bit of information about doTERRA, the company. I think that's really important to give you a little bit of an idea about who we are, what makes us special, and how we can live a healthier lifestyle, how we can take control of our health naturally to be able to reduce the risks of chronic disease and serious illness so we can live better for longer. That sounds like a good idea to me. Then we're going to be looking at how we can use the oils safely and effectively. That's also very, very important. And we're going to take a look at our 10 core oils so that we can see how these oils can be used and help and support many common health conditions. So that's when you'll need a pen and a little bit of paper, and you can maybe jot down any oils that may resonate with certain conditions that you're looking to get some help and support with. We'll also be sharing with you how you can take advantage of some amazing discounts with doTERRA and look at the different options that you have stepping forward. And for those people who are interested in working with us, in being able to develop an income stream, of course, that's entirely optional, but we will be having a little look at the earning potential and the help and the support and the guidance that is provided as part of that overall opportunity. Okay, so an action-packed evening, I'm sure you'd agree. So let's press straight on with that, if I may. So this is doTERRA. Look, this is our global leading essential oils company, and that's something we are very proud of because doTERRA is the #1 essential oils company in the world. We are the largest, we are the most successful, and this of course can be validated. And doTERRA started in 2008, so a relatively young company really, and during that time we have grown to have an annual turnover which is now approaching $3 billion a year, which is staggering, and operating, you know, in over 100 countries around the globe. And the reason why doTERRA is enjoying the success, it should be of interest to everyone on this call this evening, because number one, we produce the purest essential oils on planet Earth. Okay, and that's something that we're very proud of, and that can be validated. And what that means is that when people use our essential oils, they have the most wonderful, positive experiences, and they embrace the oils as part of their everyday lives, and they shout it from the rooftops, okay, as you do when you have these wonderful, positive experiences. The second reason is something I'm sure you'd also agree with, is that there is now a global movement of people who are looking to take control of their health naturally. People are becoming very aware of the risks associated, you know, with using over-the-counter drugs and medications, and the associated risks of dependency and side effects and the long-term ill effects. Now, it's worth me mentioning that we're not opposed to modern medicine by any stretch of the imagination, but we do think that they are often overused and that there are safe and natural and effective alternatives that can really help and support you with your health. Now, doTERRA is also 2016 International Company of the Year, and one of the things that attracted me to doTERRA is they are a very humanitarian organization. They give back so very much. They donate millions every year and help to support worthwhile causes. They will help to build hospitals and schools and put in water systems. They've just donated $5 million to cancer research. So as an organization, they're really very special. And one of the more recent projects is Operation Underground, and this is helping to crack down on human trafficking, sex trafficking around the world. It really is a wonderful organization is doTERRA. They give back so very, very much. Now, every year we launch into new countries, which is wonderful. Just recently we've launched into Colombia and into the Philippines and also into South Africa. We've only been in South Africa a few months, and the growth is absolutely staggering. So the excitement is pretty much at fever pitch. So if anyone's on here from South Africa, you're very, very welcome. It's great to see you. So let me just throw something into the ring here for a moment, in that people are not usually aware of this, and this was a eureka moment for me, in that really we are living in times where chronic disease and serious illness is really reaching epidemic levels. And let me just share something with you that may come as a bit of a surprise. Back in 1940, 1 in 16 people were touched by cancer. By 1970, that had increased to 1 in 10. And here we are in 2019, and it's 1 in 2. So something's changed, okay? And what it is that has changed is often our lifestyle behaviors and what we're putting into our bodies. And I'll give you a bit more about that in a moment. But nearly 7 out of every 10 deaths globally are as a result of something that's called non-communicable diseases. And examples of this are cancer, cardiovascular disease, kidney disease, osteoporosis, diabetes, stroke, COPD, etc. And largely these diseases are actually preventable with adjustments in our lifestyle behaviors. Now, genetics does play a part, of course, but only a small part in comparison to the impact that we can have on health with adjustments in our lifestyle behavior. So this was a real eureka moment for me, because I used to just keep my fingers crossed. And they do say that hope is not a strategy, okay? So when we look at what's actually changed, it's actually what you can see on the screen here beneath the dotted line, okay? And what has changed is the fact that we don't get the same amount of nutrition that we used to get many, many years ago, okay? So 90% of people, certainly in the UK, do not get the right amount of nutrition. And of course, this is absolutely key critical for the support and optimize health. The next thing is that we've become quite a sedentary nation. We don't move as much as we should, okay? We don't exercise. We often, are tired at the end of the day. We work long hours, and we don't make enough time to be able to do these things. And of course, this has an impact on health. We also live in a constant state of stress. I'm pretty sure many of you can relate to this. And some of the main stresses is worrying about work and money and health. And of course, this impacts us in ways that the cortisol level, which is the stress hormone, just literally just goes through and off the scale. And when we're stressed constantly, what this does is it actually becomes counterproductive. It actually reduces the effectiveness of our immune function and increases the susceptibility to many other types of illnesses. So, this is what can happen with stress. They say stress is a killer, and it is true. The other thing, of course, is that when we're stressed all of the time, it doesn't lend itself to having a deep, restful sleep. And of course, that's absolutely key critical for health, even just to get through the next day. But it's really critical for health moving forward. In fact, sleep deprivation over extended periods of time can cause all manner of health issues, but especially it increases the risk to the likes of Alzheimer's and dementia. Is probably the biggest single determining factor as to whether you will get this chronic disease. It also can increase the risk to certain cancers by up to 50%. So we've got to have a more effective strategy for reducing stress and being able to improve the quality of our sleep, okay? And last but certainly no means least, we've got to be able to reduce the toxic load, okay? And this is not just, toxins that are coming from environmental factors. The majority of the toxins that we're actually putting into our body come from products that we are using in our everyday lives. Products that we use for personal care, health care, home care, air fresheners, aerosols, chemicals in the different aftershaves and perfumes that we use. We become creatures of habit. And of course, we just think, oh, wow, there's a new product, or there's, something else that can help us. But if you just took a moment to look at the ingredients, you'd realize that many of them contain harmful chemicals, okay? So when we actually look at all of these things collectively, this is what is having the impact on our health, okay? So it's reducing the immune function, which is what's increasing our risk. Now, with doTERRA, we're all about helping people to become more informed. We're not just about selling essential oils, we're about education. We want people to become more aware so that they can be more proactive with what they do to be able to reduce the risks and to live better for longer, okay? So doTERRA has a range of amazing products that can be used to help and support you in making those adjustments. Okay, so just finally some statistics, if I may, just to back up what it is that I've actually said, because of course it's very easy for people to just exaggerate, you know, this state, if you like, of the health within, you know, the UK or around the world. And these are some official statistics of the respective governing bodies. Okay, so diabetes, UK has doubled, you know, in the last 20 years. You know, so it's reaching epidemic levels. We have dementia, 1 in 14 people over the age of 65, you know, getting dementia. We've got 1 in 4 adults, you know, will experience mental illness, and that's not taken into account, you know, our young teenagers who are under the pressures of academia, and of course the pressures placed upon them to look and be perfect, okay, through social media, etc. So, and then we've got coronary heart disease, which is still the #1 killer in the UK, and there's the one that is the frightener for me personally, is Cancer Research UK. Now revised their estimates. You can see this on the website. Now 1 in 2 people is expected to get cancer during the course of their lifetime. I just think that's inconceivable. You know, these type of stats are the things that we tend to be dismissive of on a day-to-day basis, and kind of, to some respects, understandably, we're too busy getting on living, right? But this is what's happening, and unless we make some adjustments, we will become part of the way, you know, that these are having impacts for the way that we live our lives in 2019. So we got to make some adjustments, okay? Now, one of those adjustments, of course, and why we're here this evening, sort of out of the dark and into the light, is to take a look at, you know, essential oils, and, you know, how they can help and support us. So just for the benefit of those who are not 100% sure what exactly essential oils are, essential oils is like natural medicine, okay? These are extracts that are found in the plant material. So it's effectively the plant's very own immune function, okay, to be able to help the plant to guard against the likes of bacteria and viruses and diseases that would otherwise attack the cells, okay? So this is very, very powerful chemistry. And because fundamentally, at a molecular level, we are the same as a plant, when we use these essential oils within our own body, pure grade of course, then they go to work in the same way in protecting and helping support us as they would to help and support the plant. So it helps to kill bacteria, inhibits virus reproduction, cleanses toxins, destroys parasites, oxygenates our cells, and boosts and optimizes our immune function. So, you know, this is really very, very powerful. And something that not everyone is aware of, modern medicine, when prescribed by the doctor, many modern medicines, you know, are actually blocked by the outer cell membrane. So often modern medicine can go to work on the symptoms, but not actually work on the root cause of the problem. With essential oils, because of their lipophilic properties, they can penetrate through the outer cell membrane, because of course this is where the virus is or the disease, and they can penetrate and enter into the cell and help the body to do what it should be doing naturally, because let's face it, our body is supposed to self-heal, but it's struggling because of our lifestyle behaviors today, okay? So this is why essential oils, it's really exciting, because they are very fast acting. They can penetrate through our skin and enter into our bloodstream within just about 30 seconds, and they can start to enter into our cells within as little as 20 minutes, okay? So they can be very fast acting, and they can be very, very effective, and of course they are entirely safe, because we remember we are part of nature. So doTERRA is a company of science, okay? We not just, you know, a retailer, you know, and, you know, promoting and selling essential oils. We harvest the oils from optimum locations around the world, and that's very important, because we have to start with the purest plant in the first instance to be able to start the process of harvesting, etc. And for example, we wouldn't harvest lavender from the roadside because of contamination, of course, from motor vehicles, okay? So we only harvest from optimum locations. And then we create the end product in our laboratories. And we've introduced a level of testing and purification that the industry has never seen before. Okay, we've introduced a new standard, which is known as CPTG, a little bit more about that in a moment. And as a result of that, our essential oils are in the top 1% of essential oils in the world today. They are the most tested and they are the most trusted. Okay, now the gentleman bottom left is called Dr. Robert Pappas, and he is the leading specialist in the world. He's the go-to guy for essential oils. He's an independent. He's also the president and technical director of independent testing. Okay, and he's on record. It's saying that doTERRA is the leading company in the world right now, and no one goes to the lengths that doTERRA do to ensure the purity of grade, which is a wonderful endorsement. Now, what Dr. Robert Pappas also goes on to cite is that 95% of the essential oils in the world today are adulterated, okay, for profit. And that's something doTERRA would never do. We would never compromise the integrity of the oil. And, you know, this is your complete peace of mind. But we go to great lengths to provide that validation. In fact, let me show you something that we do, and we are the only essential oils company in the world to do this. So on the bottom of our essential oils, you will notice that we've got a code. You can input that code onto our source2u.com website, okay, and it will actually, which is the quality assurance page that you can see on there, and it will bring up every single test that's being carried out on that oil, including the science, if that interests you. And you can also print off a certificate that validates the purity of that oil. And that certificate is actually from the third-party independent laboratories. That's not doTERRA just rubber stamping it themselves, okay? And we are the only company in the world at this time, to my knowledge, that does that, and that is your complete peace of mind. This is why we have more doctors, more health professionals working with doTERRA, because they wouldn't put their name to any other brand, okay? Now, when you look at the pie chart on the left, you'll see that the gray area represents about 95% of the essential oils that are for sale today in the world. And as you can see, it's mostly synthetic, okay? And many of these essential oils actually have a pure label on the side of the bottle, even though they are mostly synthetic. And that's because it's an unregulated industry. And that means anyone can label their essential oil and say that it is pure when they only need to have 8%, okay, single digit, 8% purity to be able to label their essential oil as 100% pure, which is absolutely, in my own personal opinion, criminal, okay? So hugely misleading, not providing anyone with a way to know and have validated that the oil that they're using is purity of grade. And that's why doTERRA is the global leading essential oil company, because you can see here that only about 3% of essential oils in the world today will fall into the category of what we would call therapeutic grade. So if you want to use essential oils for medicinal purpose, it needs to be therapeutic grade. And then you can see doTERRA's little orange slither there, which is CPTG. And that stands for Certified Pure Therapeutic Grade. And that's going back to where you can have it validated with the code on the bottom of the bottle in the independent laboratories, okay, which is obviously validating the purity of the essential oil, okay, which is really, really exciting. So let's quickly talk about the different ways that you can enjoy the wonderful benefits of essential oils. So let's start with topical application. Now that means to apply to the skin. Now, should you have sensitive skin, we would always recommend that you would use a carrier oil first, okay? Such as doTERRA's fractionated coconut oil. It's clear, it's pure. You would apply it to the skin, it glides across your surface of the skin, and then you would use 1 or 2 drops of our essential oil over the surface, okay? And that is a very effective way of using the essential oils. Now, many of our oils can be applied neat as well, because of course they're entirely free from any contaminants, so there's no chance if you like, of reactions as a general rule of thumb. But of course, if you do feel like you may have sensitive skin or you're unsure, you can always do a little patch test on the bottom of your foot, first, just to make sure. But remember, this is pure and natural, so it really is a very effective way of using the oils. Now, if you have a localized condition such as arthritic pain or perhaps some psoriasis, using the carrier oil first helps to hold the essential oil in location more, as opposed to if you applied it without the carrier oil, it becomes a bit more systemic, as it more quickly travels through the skin into the bloodstream and then into the cells. Okay. Now, if you're using essential oils on a child, then we'd always recommend dilution as well as advised, because they're thin is often their skin is thinner, as it is with someone who's elderly. Now, the other way to enjoy the benefits of essential oils is aromatically. Okay, so let me just stop the screen share for a moment to tell you about that. So aromatically means to inhale. Now, there's two very popular techniques. One is what we call the cupping hand technique, which is kind of a bit obvious. You put a couple of drops of essential oil into the palm of the hand, rub your hands together, and then you would carefully place them over the nose and the mouth. Be careful not to touch the eyes. Okay, and you take 5 huge inhales. So fill your boots. Okay, that's a very, very effective way of enjoying the benefits of the oils. Now, we often get people saying, how can the essential oils help us by just inhaling? Well, that's through the appliance of science, okay, because our smell receptors are directly connected to the limbic system in our brain, which is our emotional center, which then activates our pituitary gland, which then stimulates chemical messages that travel through the body, providing us with support. Okay, so that's how you can enjoy the benefits aromatically. Now, we get a lot of people will say, yes, I love the aromatics of the oils. Often I'm busying myself something in the house and I've got my burner on and it smells divine. We're like, no, don't use a burner. Don't use a burner. It's the worst thing you can do, is using essential oils, therapeutic essential oils with a burner. And the reason for that is because the heat changes the molecular structure of the oil. Okay, so it eradicates any therapeutic benefit, so it compromises the integrity of the oil. Okay, so it might still smell okay, but you're going to be losing the therapeutic benefit. Okay, so one of the ways to be able to use the oils, if you enjoy diffusing, is, as we say here. Okay, it's a cold water system diffuser. Okay, so it has the electrical power supply. We take the top off, we put the water in, up to the red line, we put essential oil in, maybe 3, 4, 5 drops. Okay, put the top on. It has a timer, 1 hour, 2 hours, 4 hours, and it also has an on-off switch. I'll turn that on there now, so you can just see that. Look, might just about be able to see that diffusion. Okay, beautiful, absolutely beautiful. And I actually have in there wild orange, and I always put wild orange in when I do a class, because wild orange is sweet and citrusy. Of course, it smells beautiful, but it also helps to improve cognitive ability. So it helps to keep me on point, nice and clear, and it also is very uplifting for the mood. Okay, so it really promotes positivity and happiness. So I'm really pleased to see you all. Okay, so thank you so much for coming on. Now, we've got these diffusers in just about every room around the house, and the reason for that is because we got sick of unplugging them. So now, wherever we are, we can just pop it on, and we enjoy the benefits from diffusion. Okay, so that really is excellent. So last but certainly no means least, the other way you can use essential oils, which is probably one of the most effective ways for you to get benefits to health, is actually using the oils internally. Okay, now there's nothing new about using essential oils internally. However, the contraindication here is never use essential oils internally if you are not 100% assured of the purity of grade. And remember, you can't go off what is on the label. Okay, so of course, doTERRA essential oils are 100% pure, and we currently have 37 of our oils that are safe to be ingested, and we use the essential oils internally every day. Okay, and I use these essential oils. I put 1 or 2 drops into a little veggie capsule. It's the most effective way to transport the essential oil. But if you don't have a veggie cap, you can put a couple of drops in water, stir and drink, or you could put a little bit onto a spoon with a little bit of carrot oil, or into a little bit of honey, or even a couple of drops under the tongue. It really comes down to your personal preference. But the most effective way is within the veggie cap. Okay, and I tend to use, and it's only 1 or 2 drops, just the same as it is with all the different methods. But I use essential oils every day to support my daily wellness routine. I'm sure you'd agree that prevention is far superior to having to deal with something, after the health condition has arisen. So I'm sure you'd much rather ward off health issues. So preventative healthcare is something we take very, very seriously. So we actually have established a daily wellness routine to be able to reduce the risk of chronic disease and serious illness. And I'm going to show you how I use these oils to support that. So this is where you might need your pen and your pad, because I'm going to talk you through now our 10 core oils and how they can be used for many common conditions. So if you hear a condition and an oil, jot it down, because you will forget by the end of the class. Okay, so let's start with peppermint. So peppermint was the oil that brought me to doTERRA, and I shall be eternally grateful, because prior to doTERRA, I was not open to alternative medicine. I was very closed. I used to use, I would reach for over-the-counter drugs and medications. If I felt I needed it, I used to use it. I used to suffer from a lot of headaches. I used to use cocodamol, which is high in codeine and over-the-counter medication. Some really nasty side effects, and I was becoming increasingly alarmed at the risk of dependency. Okay, 10 years I was using these tablets for, and then I was given peppermint to try, and I rubbed it into my hand, onto the back of my neck, base of my skull, where the pain was, and told to inhale afterwards, 5 huge inhales, and then sit and relax for 15 minutes. You could have knocked me over with a feather. Okay, I was amazed. I had a real positive experience, but because I was a bit of a skeptic, I felt it was a coincidence. So I actually wished for another headache so that I could repeat the process and validate that it had to be a fluke. So I did get another headache about a week later, and I repeated the process, and I had this wonderful positive experience again. Well, that was me. I was like, wow, I was a convert. The converts are the worst, okay? And that was the start of my wonderful journey with doTERRA. So it really is a great oil for supporting headaches. It's also excellent at helping to reduce high temperatures. So very popular with ladies who are having the hormonal change because of the really uncomfortable hot flashes. And this is an oil that's really, really useful. Just a couple of drops, patted onto the forehead, back of the neck if you like, a little bit on the temples. And you can feel the coolness and the tingle just come down like your own little personal air conditioning unit, okay, which is great. It's also excellent at helping people with digestive issues, but a bit more about that later. So 1 drop of peppermint oil is like the equivalent to 28 cups of peppermint tea. She's like, what? It just gives you an idea of how potent it is, okay? Next oil is lavender, the oil that most people are more familiar with, probably the world's most best known oil. Now, why do I use this every day? You'll notice a little green square, daily wellness routine. Well, we talked right at the beginning about the need to reduce stress and to improve the quality of sleep. This oil ticks both boxes. We use it on an evening, actually, as part of the protocol daily, in the diffuser before we go to bed. Leave it on the timer, a couple of drops onto the bottom of the feet, and the little bit of residue left on the hand. 5 huge inhales, that's me through to the next morning. Now, I used to be a bit of an insomniac, to be fair. Sleep about 4 hours a night, very light, intermittent, up to the toilet 2 or 3 times. And I wondered if that was my age, okay, being 31. I wish, being 54. And I started using this protocol, and I've never enjoyed so many quality sleeps as I have, in this last 2 years. Now I go to bed, I expect to have 7 hours good night's sleep, and it's made a huge impact in our life, okay? Now, also it's good for the skin, so any soothing requirements, okay, skin irritations, itchiness, it's excellent. And for those people who enjoy a barbecue, or for our South African friends, a braai, I think it's called, and you burn yourself, of course, we know that that can spoil the day or the evening. Well, and you know, and get your hand under the cold tap would normally be the protocol, yeah, to soothe. Well, lavender is going to be your new best friend, just over the surface, and you'll probably find that for at least a couple of hours, that will help that sting to subside. It really is fantastic. And then maybe reapply if you need to. So it really is excellent. Okay, next oil is lemon. Now, lemon is part of my daily wellness routine. This oil is created from the rind, okay, which makes it alkaline, not acidic, which if it was from the flesh. And we use this oil every morning, 2 drops in a capsule, or again, you could put it into water, stir it and drink. And we do this to be able to help to expel toxins from the body. Look, the body's taking on toxins at an alarming rate. The day-to-day bodily functions that helps to expel toxins is not enough. It's that simple. Because we don't sweat that much, because we don't go to the gym, you know, we don't drink enough water often, so we don't go to the toilet, and we certainly don't take huge inhales and exhales. Most of the time we take little small breaths in and out, and we only use a fraction of the diaphragm. Okay, so the reality is there's more toxins going in than is coming out, and that means that there's a buildup, and the buildup of toxins means the rise of acidity in the body. Rising acidity in the body is a breeding ground for chronic disease and serious illness. Cancer loves acidic environments. So you really need to approach this very responsibly. Number one, you've got to start to reduce the toxic load. So you've got to look at products that you use and start swapping them out for chemical-free products that provide the same, okay? Just in terms of the same benefits, like, you know, shampoo or air fresheners, etc., or cleaning supplies. And of course, doTERRA do a full range of these chemical-free products. So you've got to reduce the intake, and then you've got to have a strategy for expelling toxins. And this is why I take lemon every morning as part of a daily wellness routine. Okay. In fact, many of the conditions that people often experience, such as low energy levels, you know, indigestion, skin conditions, frequent headaches, often this can be a buildup of acidity in the body, and it's the body's in the body's experiencing these as symptoms. Okay, so quite often our health can improve by just having a much more effective strategy at reducing chemical load going in and expelling toxins going out. Can see an improvement in your health. Okay, next oil is melaleuca, perhaps more commonly known to yourself as tea tree oil. Okay, but it comes from the melaleuca plant. This is very powerful first aid for the skin. Okay, and it's actually antibacterial, antifungal, antiseptic, antiviral. So, you know, if I was to cut myself, I promise you I would put melaleuca on. I wouldn't be reaching for antiseptic cream. You know, if I had some bad skin, you know, like some inflamed spots and red and very sensitive, I would use melaleuca. Okay, you know, if I was getting constant cold sores, I would be applying it the first sign of a tingle. Okay, if you've got acne, it's really excellent for the skin. In fact, some great testimonials coming in from our customers who have got, you know, small skin tags, and they've been putting it on a couple of times a day, maybe it's for, you know, a couple of weeks, and they tell us that the skin tags have been literally dropping off. Okay, this is also a great immune booster, and bearing in mind that mostly, you know, our immune function is being compromised because of our lifestyle behaviors. You know, this is an excellent oil. It really is. It smells like soil. It's not my best and favorite smelling oil at all, but it is very, very effective. Okay. Next oil is oregano, and we love oregano. We love it. We love it. We love it. But it's not because it's a herb and we can use it in our spaghetti bolognese. It's because it's nature's most powerful natural antibiotic. Not a lot of people know that. Okay. Now we know that doctors have been over-prescribing the likes of antibiotics for many, many years, and of course, people who have frequented the doctors and used antibiotics often, their bodies are now building up immunities to it. Okay, so less effective. So this is, of course, the natural way. So if you're feeling a little bit, I remember years ago, my mum used to say to me, oh, if you're feeling a little bit under the weather, a little bit run down, we'll get you to the doctors and get you some antibiotics. Oh my goodness, that was the mindset of the way that often people used to consider using antibiotics. Whereas now, if I'm feeling a little bit down, a little bit under the weather, then I will simply put a couple of drops of oregano in a capsule. I'll take it twice a day for maybe 7 to 10 days. And it works in the same way, if you like, that you would, be likely to take antibiotics. And it really does help to boost and optimize, your health. Now, this is a hot oil. You wouldn't use it neat in just water and drink. It's a bit hot. You might think, oh, hello. That's why we prefer to put it in a little veggie capsule, okay? Now, in laboratories, this is actually proven to be more effective at killing bacteria than the likes of amoxicillin, okay? Which, of course, is a low-grade antibiotic. So this is a very useful oil to use to help and support. First sign of a cold or a flu, or you're feeling under the weather, then get this in, and get this taken, and it really will help to support the body to kind of, resist the virus and stop the virus from reproducing, etc. The next oil is frankincense, the king of all oils. If there was one oil above all others if I could only keep one oil, this would be the oil. Okay, it would be a travesty if I could only have one oil, by the way. But if there was one, this would be the one. Okay. So many benefits to health, but the reason why I use it every single day, I put it in with my lemon actually on a morning in the veggie cap, same time, is because of its ability to optimize and promote cellular health. Okay, cellular health is absolutely key, critical for you to be able to live better for longer. Everything is about the health of the cells, and our cells on average regenerate every 6 weeks. So healthy cells today doesn't mean healthy cells tomorrow. So during the process of regeneration, there's always, little irregularities in cells, but an optimized and healthy immune function, will deal with that as a natural part of what the immune function does. But when you've got a compromised immune function, you're a bit run down, okay, and our cells are regenerating, this is how you can start to get mutations in the cells, and we don't want that, okay? So this helps to optimize and promote cellular health, which is really important. It also is excellent at optimizing immune function as well. So it really ticks two very, very important boxes. Now, in holistic circles, this is known as an anti-cancer oil. Now, that's not me making outlandish claims. You can do your own research. You can go on to YouTube and put in frankincense and cancer, and you'll see that there's undeniable evidence that frankincense can help and support, the reduction in tumors. Okay, so please check that out for yourself. But this is why I use frankincense every single day. Okay, because my father died of cancer, my father-in-law died of cancer, and my 2-year-old grandson in 2015 died of a malignant brain tumor. So we've been touched by this terrible disease. So anything that I can do to reduce risk, I'm going to do. Now, there's no guarantees in life. I understand that, but there are probabilities, and we can reduce risk so we can improve the probability of living better for longer, by helping to use this incredible oil. Okay, lots of other benefits. It's also anti-inflammatory, which is fantastic. It also is great for helping to support and beautify the skin. It helps to regulate estrogen production in ladies, so it helps to reduce the risk of tumors or cysts in the uterus. It's also an excellent oil which helps people with neurological conditions such as depression or dementia, and the likes of people who experience seizures from the likes of epilepsy. Can help to reduce the severity. It can help to reduce the frequency, as part of an overall protocol, not just using frankincense, but it's a really wonderful oil, one of our most prestigious oils, one of the most expensive oils, but it really has amazing benefits to health. We could talk a lot more about this, but I'm conscious of the restrictions of time. Now, we've talked about single oils. Now we're going to talk about some of the blends. Okay, so this is a blend called On Guard. Bit of a giveaway really in the name, but it's a blend a very powerful blend that helps to ward off viruses and bugs. Okay, now especially at this time of year, there's lots of environmental and seasonal threats. Okay, and of course viruses are highly contagious, so many mums will appreciate, if you've got little children, they tend to be the biggest carriers of the bugs and germs from school. All the coughs and sneezes and snuffy, snotty noses and touching surfaces, and of course they bring them home, and then it goes around the whole family for the next couple of months. So we've noticed, of course, that this is something that just doesn't seem to happen for us anymore, and that's because when we became aware of this, we made up a little roller ball with On Guard in with fractionated coconut oil, because it's from a little boy and he was only 10 at the time when we started using it. And he'd rub it on the bottom of his feet before he puts his socks on. He put a little bit onto his hand, rub his hands together, and we'd also have it in his diffuser, because he has his own, in his bedroom, and we would have that on a couple of times a week. So we used to joke on when he was little that it made him into Iron Man. We can't quite get away with that now, but we made the point that it helps his body to be more resistant, to the bugs and the viruses. So if you work in a public environment, then this is an oil that will really help you and serve you well. It reminds me of Christmas because it smells sweet and spicy, because it's got wild orange in there. It's got cinnamon, which is where the spice comes from. It's got rosemary, eucalyptus, and it also has clove. Now, why is clove very important as part of this? Well, first sign of a sore throat, this is an excellent oil. Put a couple of drops in water, stir and gargle, because clove is a natural analgesic, which means it helps to numb the pain. It's also anti-inflammatory, so it helps to bring down any swelling. So this really is an excellent, excellent oil. Next oil is air. This is a respiratory blend. So it helps to open up the airways. So very popular for people who've got any type of chestiness or asthma. So in the past, when my little boy's been a little bit chesty, and as a parent, we worry, do we not? Whilst our little one is sleeping with their airways are a bit congested. So we would put this in the diffuser on a timer. And that helps me to have a restful sleep, because I'm not worrying about whether my son is congested, and having any challenges during the evening, okay? So if you've got any type of respiratory issues, whether it even be cold, flu, sinusitis, hay fever, any type of congestion, this is great. Okay, it really does help to open up the airways. Next oil is deep blue. This is the oil we use for pain. So very, very popular. Now this is not to be taken internally, and it has a special cap on there to bring that to your attention. It's a topical application, and very popular for people who have like arthritic pain, or ladies with period cramping, or people who suffer from migraine, or people who have fibromyalgia. Now there's a lot of symptoms that can go hand in hand with fibromyalgia, and one of them is pain. So this is why this is helpful in that respect. So any type of muscular skeletal pain, okay? Now if you are on any medication from the doctor to help to thin the blood, then we wouldn't recommend that you use this, and that's because it contains wintergreen, and wintergreen is a natural blood thinners, okay? Next oil is Zengest, arguably my second most favorite oil, okay? Now this is a blend that contains, well, it's got many different oils contained, but it's because it's a digestive blend that contains ginger, anise, caraway, fennel, peppermint, coriander, tarragon. So very powerful, what we would call tummy tamers, but when it's been synergized in this way, it is very, very powerful, okay? So excellent at supporting people with conditions such as acid reflux, motion sickness, trapped wind, diarrhea, upset tummy, constipation. It really is excellent. However, why is it that I use this essential oil every single day for my daily wellness routine? What I'm about to share with you now, you should write it down, you should put asterisks next to it, you should underline it, circle it, because most diseases start in the gut. Most diseases start in the gut. So if you look after your overall gastrointestinal health, you are really going a distance at looking after your overall health, okay? So that's why I use this oil every single day 3 o'clock in the afternoon in a little veggie cap, okay, it really is an excellent oil. Next oil that I want to talk to you about really is, again, mentioning Zengest, but in the capacity of demonstrating to you how cost effective our essential oils are, okay, and how versatile they are. Because you see, when we look at cost, we can't compare doTERRA's essential oils with other oils that are in the marketplace. Now, remember these, 93, 94, 95% of the oils that exist in the marketplace today are compromised, okay? They have tiny elements of purity, okay, and they're just bulked up with fillers, and that's why they are, largely ineffective. So you can't compare doTERRA's essential oil, with another essential oil, and it's unfortunate. I appreciate that, that can be difficult because, it carries a pure label, and if you see a bottle of doTERRA's oil and it's got a pure label, and you see another bottle which is twice the size and half the price, you could understand why somebody might be basing their decision on price point. I can understand that. But unfortunately, because of the unregulated industry, this is what the issue is. So hopefully this education has helped you to understand. So if you really want to get medicinal benefit, then purity of grade is absolutely key critical, okay? And I used to use this over-the-counter medication called Gaviscon because I used to get a lot of indigestion. And if we're going to do a comparison, we kind of need to do it there because that is known to help to support people with indigestion. Of course, it contains chemicals, and it only suppresses the symptom. So I would use Gaviscon, and one serving of that works out at about 58 pence in the UK. Okay, and 2 drops of Zengest work out at 20 pence. So it's 2/3 cheaper is our essential oil. But here's the thing, is that, yes, I would say, oh yes, that burning sensation's gone now, just until the next time, because all the Gaviscon was doing was suppressing the symptom. So not doing anything about why I was keep getting indigestion. Okay, whereas Zengest, because it works at a cellular level, okay, it's helping to rebalance what's out of kilter, in helping to go to work at the root of the cause, and now I just don't get indigestion anymore, okay, and that's because I have a daily wellness routine. So it's really important that you understand that if you want to get therapeutic benefit from essential oils, the purity of grade is all important. If you're just looking for something to smell nice, well, I guess there are cheaper alternatives. They won't smell as nice, but you might think it still smells okay, if you know what I mean, because nothing smells like when you've got a pure grade essential oil and you smell the real aromatics. It's a different game altogether. Now, the last product I want to very quickly mention to you, with some enthusiasm might I add, is the Vitality Pack. And that's because this is one of doTERRA's best-selling products, but it's not an essential oil. And that's because we don't just do essential oils. We also have a range of products, including health supplements, which is what this is. Here's something that's going to come as a surprise for you. Health supplements also operate in an unregulated industry. So when you've been feeling pretty assured that, like, you're being very proactive with your health, you're going to the health store, you're getting your multivits, you're getting your glucosamines, you're getting your omegas, guess what? In most cases, tiny elements of purity, then the rest bulked up with fillers, which even means that the fillers prevent the absorption of whatever is contained within the product anyway. So, you're getting little or no benefit. In most cases, it is no benefit. So when you use a product that is 100% pure product, you know that you're taking a pure product, okay? So this is a bit like a replacement for your multivits, if you like. It's an all-over sort of body benefit. And one of these supplements is the equivalent of 12 servings of fruit and vegetables a day. So going right back to, why, we are experiencing the health issues that we have today, we talked about 90% of people do not get the right amount of nutrition. Well, I get my correct nutritional value every single day. And the reason why we call this the Vitality Pack is because many of our customers tell us that one of the obvious benefits that they receive is increased energy levels. So my question is, what are your energy levels like? Because mine are amazing at 54. Okay, that's when I started using them, and now I'm 55, and I've continued using them, for every single day, since we started with doTERRA. And the company even give you a money back guarantee. If you use this product for a month and you do not feel the benefits to health, they'll give you your money back. Try doing that with the local health store. Use the product, go back, say it didn't work, and can you have your money back? See what they say. They'll probably call security. Okay, so next point I'd like to make as we move into the final stages of this presentation, next 10 minutes, is when you join doTERRA, you get access to free education. This is just a basic class. You can come on advanced classes. You can continue your knowledge and your thirst for information. It will not cost you a penny, and something we're very proud of. You also don't need to be an expert to start using our essential oils. You know, we often get asked that. You don't, because you get access to some great resources. This is one of them. It's an app you can download from the App Store. You can put in the essential oil. It will bring up the oil, the oil that can help and support that condition. Okay, it's fantastic. It'll tell you about the condition. It'll tell you about what oils can be helpful. It's amazing. And you could get that from the App Store for about £5. It's called Modern Essentials Plus, okay? Or you can get a good old-fashioned book with an A to Z of ailments, which you can just reference through, so you don't need to be an expert. Your knowledge will grow over time. And some people who come on board with doTERRA are simply looking at using the products as a customer. Okay, and I'm going to show you how you can get some amazing discounts. And some people come in and they want to work with us as well. They love the idea of helping people. They're very interested in essential oils. You know, we're all customers, but we also want to be able to reach out and share the gift with other people. I mean, I can't think of a more rewarding thing to do, and also in earning income in the same process. So if you are interested in working with us, you're very welcome. It's very, very rewarding. And we've got some great systems in place to support you, which I'm going to come on to in a moment. So those people who do want to work with us, you know, we pride ourselves in the help and support that we offer. Okay, we have Facebook support groups, so there's a great sense of community and warmth and support that will help you. We have our own team resource website with access to, you know, video tutorials and documentation and information that will help you. We literally have a step-by-step guide to helping you to develop your income with us. So you don't have to kind of be creative. You don't have to figure it all out. You just have to follow the great systems that we've got in place. You'll have lots of one-on-one contact from the person who introduces you. So you're doing it for yourself, but you're never, ever going to be by yourself. I can assure you of that, okay? And we'll help you to get a plan that works for you around your circumstances so that you can get what you want from doTERRA. So let's just put that to one side for the moment and look now at helping you to see the different ways that you can obtain doTERRA products. Now, the first way we need to forget about, because that's retail, full retail price. And why would you want to pay full retail price when you can have an opportunity to register with doTERRA as either a wholesale customer with no minimum order, or a product consultant, i.e. someone who wants to work with us, and get access instantly to 25% off the entire range, just for starters, okay? And the great thing about that is that our range of products is probably far greater than you ever even imagined. So we don't just do essential oils, we do children's health supplements, we do body care products, we have essential skincare collection, we have salon essentials, okay, we have products specifically for ladies, we have spa products, so for you ladies who are more used to, you know, beautifying yourselves and pampering yourselves, we have all of these products. And remember, these are all chemical free. We have an amazing range of products for cleaning, and cleaning supplies from the supermarkets pose the biggest risk to health because of the toxins that are contained with chemicals, okay? So we even have a product there for cleaning your teeth, fluoride free. And then we have health supplements. So we've got this amazing range of products which enables you to swap where you shop. Remember the need to reduce the chemical intake as well as having a more effective means of expelling toxins. Well, that's the great thing about doTERRA, is that you have an opportunity to do that. So, and you're going to get 25% off the entire range, and you can increase that discount up to what is the equivalent of 55% off by simply being a regular customer. Well, that's very easy to do. with the loyalty rewards program when you're swapping where you're shopping. Okay, it's fantastic. And one of the great benefits as well when you register with us is that you are in control. You don't need to ask anybody to order the products for you. You get your own login, okay? And you can access this wonderful information. You can see the special offers, you can see the promotions, you can find out about the essential oils. You've got access to all of the products. You've got access to the information about essential oils. It's just a wealth of information available to you. It really is amazing. So in addition to that, if you're interested in working with us, you're going to love this. You also get a couple of extra tabs. You get a customer tab and you get a commission tab. So let's just say, so you can see how this works. Let's say that you are interested in working with us, so you're one of our product consultants. And let's say you reach out to someone about the oils and they're like, wow, I'd love to find out about the oils. They sound fantastic. You can invite them to come onto one of these classes. We run these classes 7 days a week, okay? And we put them on so for our product consultants to use it to be able to help and support you in growing your business. So let's say your friend says, oh, wow, that class was amazing. You know, I'm really interested. I want to get the oils right. Okay, how can I get started? Well, they register through you, but you don't have to take the payment. You don't have to carry any stock. You don't have to deal with the delivery. doTERRA do that all for you, okay? Because not only is doTERRA an amazing company with an amazing product range, they have an amazing business model that also sits alongside those other two elements, okay? And what's wonderful about that is you will suddenly see, once your customer gets registered, you will see your customer appear on your customer tab. Guess what else you'll see appear? The commissions that you've earned, okay, which is wonderful. Now, the great thing about this is that, you know, your customer will be exposed to the amazing product range. They will order regularly and they'll swap where they shop. And guess what? You don't have to do anything. And you just keep seeing your recurring commissions getting paid into your account month in, month out, month in, month out. So eventually, because of course there's no limit as to how many customers you share this with, you can actually build up what's called a passive income, which means you're now getting paid every month and you're not technically doing any work because you might have found these customers weeks or months or even years ago, and you're continuing to get recurring commissions, which is just amazing. Okay, so very, very exciting. So, but the way most people get started with doTERRA products is they actually get a kit. Now, why do people get kits? Well, because it makes sense. You see, we just talked through, that's the royal we, that's me. We just talked through these 10 core oils. You've probably got at least, you know, 5 oils on your list that you think, I need that, I've got to get that, oh, I must have that. And we know that that's what is typical. Most people want at least 5 bottles of oil. So doTERRA have created these convenient small kits so that you can get these oils and put them into your life pretty much straight away. Okay, so this contains the 10 core oils that I've just talked you through, but they're only in 5 ml bottles because this is just an entry kit. £127 for that kit. Okay, plus obviously all your discounts moving forward, sorry, 25% off. And you can see the other currencies underneath there down the right hand side of the page. So in South Africa, that works out at about 2,940 rand plus your delivery, which is about 75 rand delivered to your door. Okay, so that's the family essentials kit. You also get a free bottle of Smart and Sassy if you're in South Africa, by the way, which is a metabolic blend which helps to manage appetites and boost metabolism, reducing cravings. So that's what you also get from South Africa. Now, but the Home Essentials kit is the most popular kit because that one I've just shown you is an entry kit. This actually comes in 15 ml bottles. So you're getting 3 times the amount of oil, including the frankincense, remember the king of all oils, and the diffuser. So you get all of that, and that works out at 243 in sterling. Some little accessories there if you want to get some accessories, like the vials to give little samples out to your friends and family. Put about maybe 7 or 8 drops in. Fractionated coconut oil, which is the carrier oil, and the little box there to to house your growing supply of oils. Okay, so there it is in South Africa. It's 4,570 rand, and that actually does include delivery as well. Okay, so some great savings. And when you purchase the Home Essentials kit this month, you also get an extra bottle of frankincense. So that means you get the Home Essentials kit, you're going to get 2 bottles of frankincense, which of course is amazing because it's one of the most prestigious oils and one of the most beneficial oils in terms of for health. Okay, so that's a great offer that we've got. Now we do have other kits because we attract a lot of health professionals who often have clinics or salons. There's some kits that we have that come with more than just oils. Okay, so if you're interested in that, then again speak to the person who has invited you on. Okay, but in most cases the Home Essentials kit is adequate. That's the kit that I got started with, and it really has served our family well. Treat yourself to a nice Christmas present. Okay, the greatest gift you could give yourself. Now, as we move into the last couple of minutes of this presentation, I want to just reassure you, for those people who are looking to work with us, we have great systems in place to help and support you to develop an income stream. Some of those systems, which I'm going to share with you now, a very effective one is letting people have a try before they buy, so to speak. Let them have a little sample. That's why the little vial bottles are very useful, okay? And that's why the Home Essentials kit is very popular, because it has 3 times the amounts of oil, so you can give little samples out, okay? And people 9 times out of 10 have a wonderful positive experience, okay? And they're really like excited, and they're like, oh, well, how can I get these oils? And you say, hey, come on a class and find out more. We share all this wonderful information with you. And people come on the classes. And remember, these classes are put on to support you. So that's another great part of our system. And then even when people get started with us, we even have a new customer induction class where they come on and they can learn about, now you've got your oils, this is what you might want to do. These are some of the resources. These are some free downloads, etc. So it's a great support mechanism that we have in place to be able to help and support you. That's with the new member induction as well. And remember, you might be interested in working offline, or maybe you prefer to work online because you've got time limitations. Maybe you're a busy mum, you've got very limited time and you're working around the children. Maybe you've got a part-time job. And so we will help you to embrace technology, and you will show you how to set up your own Facebook business page where you can promote that on social media. We'll help you to set up your own targeted audience ads, okay, where you can, and some of you on here tonight have replied to an ad on social media. We'll show you how to run ads like that. And they're really inexpensive. In the UK, that's maybe £3 or £4 a day. That's maybe about 50 rand a day, €4 a day. So very, very inexpensive. And of course, when we created one of these ads, we create the targeted audience element. So we put in there people who are interested in essential oils, people who are interested in holistic health, natural wellness. And then when we promote that advert, then we get inquiries coming in from people who are perfectly aligned with what we're offering. So it's a very effective way to be able to build your business. And we'll introduce you to the systems on what to do and how to be able to then deal with that inquiry, okay? And if you're a bit of a technophobe, you think, oh, I'm not very good with technology, we can even do it for you and send you the inquiries, okay? So whether you want to work online or whether you want to work offline and you want to do physical classes and you want to be able to maybe have a stand at a holistic fair, or whether you want to do online and offline, we'll help and support you to do what it is that you want to be able to do. And I just want to quickly show you in terms of, the business opportunity that doTERRA offers. If you look at the growth in Europe there on the left, okay, just focusing on that, just the European division in 2015 was doing 16 million US dollars, okay, a year. But look, by the end of 2018, that had jumped to 140 million. So look at that huge upward spiral. So, if you're wanting to work with us, you're in the right place at the right time with the right company. And that's just the European growth. But if we look at the global growth and look at where the European growth sits on the scale of the global growth, there's a lot of growth to come And we are just on a huge global expansion plan right now, and that means opportunity. Okay, now if you look at the incomes that people are earning in doTERRA, now remember, you get out what you put in. Okay, and it's all about your level of commitment, and of course it takes a little bit of time, but you can build up an income, you know, that gives you opportunities to consider how you want to spend your life. Okay, because we have people who are walking away from part-time jobs, full-time careers, and are simply working from home, embracing the doTERRA business model. Okay, and because it's hugely effective, and there's people earning anywhere from a few £100 a month, or like 4,000 rand, if you like, you know, up to, you know, people earning, you know, like £11,000 a month, you know, or nearly 200,000 rand a month, just to give you some scalability. There are people earning incomes like this and everywhere in between. So you have an amazing opportunity to build something up in your spare time, your part-time, that effectively can look after you and your family for life. And that's why the doTERRA business opportunity is so very, very exciting, and why we're growing at a rapid rate. Now, there's different ways that you can earn commissions. Some are paid weekly, some are paid monthly, and I'm not going to go into all of that right now. But the number that should really excite you is 68% that you see on the screen, because that is what our global customer retention is. So think about this. Let's say you've introduced this to lots of people and they're using the products. The probability is they'll stay with you forever. They'll keep buying the products over and over again. And that means for you a long-term, passive, recurring income, which is fantastic. And that's what we've been able to do. I've only been with doTERRA for 2 years, and now I've been able to, you know, not work for an employer. I work from home, and we make far more than we would ever be paid by an employer, and we enjoy the freedom of time that goes with working from home and working on our own terms. And we'll help you to do the same if you're interested. So I'd like to just give you a quick 30-second recap. Global leading essential oils company. We know that we've talked about how our immune function is compromised, and as a result of that, that's what's increasing our risk to chronic disease and serious illness. We also know that we need to make some adjustments, otherwise we will find ourselves part of those statistics that I shared with you earlier, which is a bit scary. We know that essential oils are natural medicine, and that we can use these to help and support us with our health. Okay, purity of grade is definitely an issue in the industry, but you don't need to worry about that with doTERRA, because they are the purest in the world. We've talked about the 10 core oils. Hopefully you've identified which oils can help and support you and your family and provide a natural alternative. Okay, but probably the most important thing I've talked about today, outside of everything, is the opportunity you have to reduce unnecessary risk to chronic disease and serious illnesses. Whilst there are no guarantees in life, there are probabilities. And you can establish a daily wellness routine with oils that we've talked about that are contained within the Home Essentials Kit. Okay, so you can put these into your life straight away, and start building up the compound benefit of doing so. There's a great opportunity to work with us if you're interested, and we'll give you full help and support. And if you can budget for it, the Home Essentials Kit is definitely the most cost effective. So I just want to say that brings us to the end of the presentation. I do apologize, I've overrun there by about 4 minutes, but I hope it hasn't inconvenienced you too much. But please now do go back to the person who has invited you onto this presentation tonight. doTERRA's changing lives, and the question is, why not yours? So I just want to say thank you for your time, and I wish you good night and God bless, and the gift of good health. Thank you, everyone. Bye-bye for now.